Today we're going to be answering this question to see if stocks have bottomed. We've been in this recent uptrend and a lot of bulls out there are claiming victory, that there's no more recession, no more bear market, and we're going to break out to the upside and enter into a new bull market. Now, this week we do have a lot on the calendar. On Wednesday, Jerome Powell is expected to raise rates 25 basis points for the FOMC meeting. And then, of course, if you look here at earnings, we have AMD, Snapchat, McDonald's, Spotify on Tuesday. Wednesdays when Jerome Powell will speak, and then we also have Meta earnings. And then on Thursday is jam-packed with Amazon, Apple, Google, Ford, Starbucks, etc. So I do expect a lot more volatility, a lot of fake outs, a lot of traps this week. So it's going to be really difficult to trade. I think over the last several weeks, the market has been in a position where scalpers are making the most amount of money, especially with these 0-day to expiration options that you can trade now every day on the S&P 500 on SPY. So I'm going to show you some quick tips here and whether or not I think this level is going to act as resistance. So let's hop right into it. So the last several weeks, you could have made a killing trading in and out of short-dated contracts, just scalping in the market. If I show you here the year-to-date chart, this is the daily candles for the SPY. You can see that anytime we have a gap down, we usually come back up to try to fill that gap. So if there's a gap down, it's probably best to be in calls in the morning. If we have a gap up, it's probably best to be in puts. And that's been the trend the last several weeks. So history often repeats itself. If you understand how price is moving, then you can kind of predict how things will pan out in the future. To give you a better look at this, you can see that SPY closed here. So any red candle, we open at the top, close at the bottom. And green candles, you open at the bottom, close at the top. You can see here that SPY gapped down. And we try to fill that up on that wick. Filled that level, rejected, and then pushed lower and finally closed around this 388 level. The next day, we gapped up, filled down below, found support, and then it was off to the races, and we closed in this really strong bullish candle to the upside. Had a gap. You see the wick where it tried to fill below, and then we closed at the top of range. Had a little gap down below. Had a gap down below, filled, and then filled up to the upside. So you can see it here on the daily chart pretty clearly, but let's drill down a little bit so you can make a little bit more sense of it. This is the 15-minute chart, and on TradingView, you can either show pre and post market trading, or you could just do regular trading hours, and it's a little bit clearer where you can see these gaps that form. So here on Tuesday, we did have SPY close right around that $435 level. We had a gap down below, price found support, and then we had a push to the upside, and we came right back up and filled that gap. Then the next day we had a gap higher, came back down, filled that gap, and then had a bullish move to the upside. And so SPY has been doing this over and over again if you've been paying close enough attention. And I do think that if you are trading this week, it's best to try to avoid the headlines and just scalp in and out of options each day. Obviously, if you're swinging anything further out, I'd be looking more here at the daily chart. Obviously, it's hard to predict how earnings are going to go and how the market digests the FOMC meeting. But overall, VIX has been in this downtrend. I think it's worth owning some protection to the downside if you want to swing some weekly put options. And one last thing I'll leave you with is if you just look at the overall structure of SPY the last several months, you can see that this 410 level has often acted as resistance. So you can see here, we've rejected and have really strong moves to the downside around 410 to 408. You can see it back here. We had a push into the zone, and then we had a strong move to the downside after that. We actually broke above here for a period of time and then had another strong move to the downside. We broke above it here, but eventually rejected. Came back up, retested that level, rejected, came up to this level, rejected, came to this level, rejected. And so SPY actually did have somewhat of a wick on Friday when we rejected that zone once again. And so it's going to be really difficult this week to be bullish, in my opinion. But obviously, anything goes with earnings. Maybe we'll break above this level, come up to 420, if not even all the way up to 430. But with how low volatility is, I think it's worth picking up some protection to the downside, and maybe we'll have a more likely chance that there'll be a stronger rejection around this 408 to 410 level. So that's it for this video. I really appreciate you guys watching. If you do want to join the Discord community, where we have a bunch of traders in there talking day to day, discussing a lot of what I'm showing you here in this video, the link is in the description. Hope you guys enjoy your Sunday, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.